You lived in Minnesota your whole life.
I know.
So you couldn't have loved winter. So it's like anything's better than winter. Spring inside and out. It's Hunt for Wellness, episode number 96. Hello, welcome to Hunt for Wellness. I am John Hunt.
And I'm Christy Hunt.
And this is the show where we help you live your best life, mind, body, and spirit. And this episode of Hunt for Wellness is brought to you by waterdistillers.com. Great machines that produce great water for your great wellness. Check it out at waterdistillers.com. Oh, spring is in the air.
Yes.
It's so nice, especially the air outside.
It is.
But, you know, the last few days, at least when we were recording this, it was a little chilly. So, like, getting outside in spring was not as fun. But, boy, it's really changed even just in a couple days, hasn't it?
It has, yes.
It's awesome. And you get outside and, today was what I would call, like, San Diego weather. It was, like, about 72 degrees. Just,
Sunny.
Yep. Of course, the pollen's starting to build up a little bit, and so for some people that's a challenge too, isn't it?
Right. You know, I didn't used to like spring.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? You lived in Minnesota your whole life.
I know.
So you couldn't have loved winter. So it's like anything's better than winter.
Well, no, I did like winter.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, but what I did not like about spring in Minnesota was just the melting, the slush.
Yeah, that transition month, like April, March, April, it's so like you can't do anything.
I know. I just really did not like it. But the year we got married, we get married in May, so we're going to celebrate an anniversary this month.
Yep.
And I really noticed spring.
Yeah.
I noticed the apple trees blooming.
Yeah.
I noticed the lilacs. I mean, I didn't really know when lilacs bloomed. I didn't really pay attention before. I knew they bloomed, but I didn't know it was May.
Well, it was interesting, when we sold our last house, I always had this theory that it always looked the best like around May 10th, May 15th, because things are greening. Like all of a sudden it goes from brown to green.
Yes.
And flowers are popping up. And so anyway, I don't know and plus, the spring is the time people really like to buy houses, and the school year is ending and people are getting ready for the next school year. So a lot is happening.
Yeah. And there's a lot of energy.
Yes,
it's exciting.
Yes.
People are graduating from high school and college, and there's endings, but new beginnings and parties and
your
weddings.
Neighbors are outside. You can go out and talk to them.
I know. You can see it like, hello.
Now, for those of you listening or watching in like California, this is not new to you. Although out there they have rain. So you can't be outside that much.
Here in Minnesota, we don't really see our neighbors
until the sun comes out
during the winter.
Yes.
We don't see them. We might see them shoveling or dashing from their car to their house, but we don't really talk to our neighbors because it's too cold.
And they're all bundled up, and you can barely tell, is that the husband or the wife? I don't know. They're just all bundled up.
So now everybody's got their coats off.
Yep.
No one has to wear a coat. It's so happy. We are just energized.
Yes.
And literally everything is blooming.
Yes.
It's so beautiful. The flowers are coming up, the rhododendrons, the daffodils.
My favorites, Yeah, it's good.
I love that so much.
It's good. Well, what does that have to do with mind, body, and spirit?
Well,
it sure lifts your spirit, I can tell you that.
It actually does. Just being outside, it's so good for you. We just want to be outside. Right. And I can tell you a story of just being like so stressed, home with the kids, stuff going on. And literally that's like, okay, kids, we're going to go for a little nature walk. So we walk outside and literally feel like all the stress just fell off of me. It's like, well, what was it? Yeah. What was I so worried about?
Right.
And literally, according to research, it lowers your cortisol level, your stress hormone, when you go outside.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know you like to go out there and get the vitamin D, you know.
Yeah.
Get my fix of the sun. Mm-hmm. We don't see the sun that much, it seems, during the winter, but Yeah. So I never heard that about cortisol though.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it is
so
cool.
It kind of lowers your stress, can lower your anxiety. It actually improves your sleep.
Yeah.
If you spend time outside, not 10 minutes a day, but a little more.
Plus you have all that fresh air.
Yeah. Which is so good for you. The air is so much cleaner outside.
It is.
Than it is indoors. It improves your focus. So it's social, or you can be alone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Going out in nature by yourself.
Yeah.
And that can be very peaceful. You can't do that by going into your TV room or whatever.
No, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
And just like gardening, I love gardening. It's just like a peaceful environment. You hear the birds chirping, and so it's very calming and soothing, and boosts your immunity. So there's just so many good things. You get more exercise. You can't really just sit around.
I feel like we should just stop this podcast right now and go outside.
I know, but
we should have been doing this from outside.
Well, we should have done it outside. We were outside because it was so nice.
It was so nice. We had to say,
Hard to
okay,
come
let's
back
go
inside.
in and do the podcast now. Okay. Yeah. It's like, yeah.
I know. Actually, being outside makes you happy.
Yeah. In fact, if you're watching this on your phone or listening,
You better go outside.
You better go outside. You're going to get so much more out of this episode.
Right. But now sometimes people have a little trouble when they're outside.
Okay.
You know?
Like what?
Like there's the sun.
Yeah.
And sometimes people get
Too
burnt.
much sun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
That's
Sun
not
is good, but
Yep.
a little too much is not
Yep,
good.
this is
Sometimes
true.
there's bugs.
There's bugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I like about the early spring though? There's not as many as there are like in the summer.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But it is nice.
I know. And then there's sometimes those seasonal changes that cause people to have itchy, nose or eyes.
Or they have trouble breathing it is hard for people to be able to go outside and have to deal with those things. I know myself because I've had to deal with cats. And when I'm around cats, all of a sudden I don't breathe very well.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Some people get outside, they're around pollen, they're around whatever.
But literally, lavender has changed your life.
It has. When we go over to people's houses that have cats, just before we go in, I'll rub a little lavender around my eyes, maybe a little on my throat here, just so I can breathe.
Well, do you remember the time when you went into our friend's house and you sat in the cat chair? I didn't know
it was the cat chair. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
and you had a hard time
Yeah, I had a
breathing.
real hard time.
And I pulled out the lavender. Of course, I always carry lavender and
Yes.
peppermint with me. And you had like instant results.
Oh, it was instant. Instant results. I mean, it just really, lavender is a great... Yeah,
you felt like things opened up and you could breathe again.
Things opened up. I could actually stay at the place because it was going to be like, time to go. Well, what do you mean? We just got there.
Yeah. Right.
Definitely. So same for people outside. You can prep a little bit. You can kind of go on the defensive, right?
Yeah.
And or offensive. Maybe that's a better
offense
term.
is better.
And
be proactive.
Be proactive. Yeah. Just Now there's some oils that you can't put on your skin and go outside. Like things like the citrus oils. Otherwise, that's not good for you. So don't do that. But things like lavender, you can put on, right?
Right. But there's a new blend actually by Young Living called Seasonal Essentials.
Ooh.
And this is a blend to help with those seasonal changes.
Nice.
And it's got lavender, lemon, peppermint, goldenrod, and eucalyptus blue.
Beautiful.
So it's a beautiful smell. You can diffuse that. You can apply it topically. If you do apply it topically, you should dilute it just a little bit. The little carrier oil like V6. Or you can put a couple drops under your tongue, also diluting it with like the V6 oil or olive oil or coconut oil or something like that with the Vitality blend. And you can diffuse it. So if you are a person that has seasonal changes, it's really good to be proactive and use this oil at least twice a day, morning and evening, and put it in your pocket in case you need it during the day.
Okay. Good.
And especially maybe right before you go outside.
We haven't even tried that one yet. It just came out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so it supports respiratory health. It's calming.
Nice.
Peppermint supports normal respiratory function when taken internally. It's stimulating.
And there's a vitality version of it, so you can actually take some internally.
Yep.
Nice.
And just helps have a refreshing breathing experience. It's so good to breathe.
Yes, breathing is good. It's one of the keys to success in life.
Right.
Breathing.
Keep breathing. Yeah. Keep breathing. It's got a kind of fresh, minty, herby smell.
Oh, fun.
So it's delightful. And some people have used lemon, lavender, and peppermint together in their diffuser, in a roller, like very similar effect.
Okay.
This has just got like a little boost to it. So check out that Seasonal Essentials.
Yes. This is the perfect season to do it.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Okay.
Now, how about bugs?
Do we have to talk about bugs?
I know.
They bug me.
I know. They bug me too.
Yeah. What can we do about bugs?
Well, I was just doing a little research.
Okay. That you love to do.
Common insect repellent. And it was like, oh my goodness. Okay. So I scroll all the way down. I'm online, scrolled onto this. I won't name the typical. It's a very common insect repellent.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh yeah, it's safe for your skin, all da 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 da. Then it goes down and says hazardous to humans and domestic animals.
It not only kills the bugs, it kills you too.
And
oh dear.
If you get it in your eyes, you have to wash your eyes for 20 minutes straight. If you ingest any, you need to call poison control and don't induce vomiting, and may cause seizures. And it's just like horrendous.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to put this on ourselves and our kids and feel really good.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't wear it under your clothes.
Yeah.
So if you sprayed it on your arms and then you got a little chilly, don't put your sweatshirt on.
Yeah.
And
doesn't it contain like butane and
yes.
propane? That sounds like you're going to get lit on fire there. Don't get too close to the campfire when you got that stuff on. You could go up in flames.
Exactly. No, thank you.
Yeah.
So for those of us who like to be a little more natural and not hurt our bodies when
but still hate the bugs.
Right. Let's use the Young Living non-toxic insect repellent. They've got sprays and a spray and wipes.
And the wipes, isn't that nice? Yeah.
And so it's actually good for you.
Yeah.
It's got some sesame oil, citronella oil, lemongrass, rosemary, geranium, spearmint, thyme oil, and vitamin E.
Good for you, but not so good for the bugs.
Right.
They don't like it.
They don't like those smells.
Yeah, so they just go away and bother someone else with the propane on them.
Well, they don't like the propane. They
don't like the propane either. Poor bugs.
That's why they stay away. So, that is a much healthier option, the Young Living insect repellent. So,
yeah. By the way, all the products that we mentioned here are, you can go over to the Hunt4Wellness.com website, episode number 96. We have links to all of them. Of course, we get a little commission when you use our link, so make sure you use that. But it is definitely something you want to be prepared for right away.
Yes. I can remember last year. So now we're going to talk about sun.
Okay.
So we went on a little mini vacation, a little family moon, because our daughter got married.
Yep.
So a few of us went on this little vacation, and of course, it was in May, and we hadn't been in the sun much. Mm-hmm. So we sat in the sun all day. We did put on some sunscreen, but not very much. We didn't follow that 80-minute rule that, you're supposed to put it on every 80 minutes.
Yeah.
So some of us got kind of burnt, and that was a bummer.
Yes.
But we did have a really nice time. So
nice.
Yeah, it was. It was fun. So you want to get your sunscreen early so you can wear it when you need it. Mm-hmm. And same with the bug spray too.
Awesome. So now let's talk a little bit about the Young Living sunscreen. It's is it still called? Is it the mineral?
Yeah, mineral sunscreen.
Yeah, the mineral sun. So it's really nice because it's not too like goopy and oily, even though it's got essential oils, I'm sure, in it. But you know how some sunscreen is just like greasy and just ugh.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
This has got zinc oxide. There's got lavender, myrrh, frankincense, carrot seed oil, and some other ingredients. But there's no bad ingredients for you. It's totally non-toxic. And you can just feel good about it. I mean, other sunscreens have not so good ingredients. What you can do just to check it out, go look online and look up dangers of and put the ingredient in there that you're looking at and see what it says. And then the one thing it does have is every other sunscreen is fragrance. And fragrance can have like 100 chemicals in it.
Yes.
And they don't have to disclose what they are. So you don't know what they are. All it says is fragrance.
Yeah.
And, they ban fragrances in many places like hospitals and churches and places like that because fragrances make people sick.
Yeah.
They have a hard time breathing if they're around someone with a fragrance. And so there's bad stuff in fragrances.
Yeah, and just think of, putting chemicals on your skin. It's going to get right in you right away.
And then bake it in the sun.
Ugh, yikes.
So anyways, try the sunscreen. But if you forgot it or didn't use enough, there's an after sun spray called Lavender. Lavender After Sun Spray. And that offers temporary relief and pain from the pain and itching of minor burns, cuts, sunburns, scrapes, insect bites, if you forgot to use the insect repellent, and minor skin irritations. So that is a great thing to spray on, like sunburned skin. There's some menthol in there from mint, peppermint, that is soothing and cooling to the skin. It feels really good, and it really helps protect from like peeling and, the skin breaking down and dry skin and burning.
Awesome. So we want to enjoy spring inside and out, but we mainly want to be outside.
Right.
So the moral of the story here is use these products to help you enjoy a better and longer time outside, because before you know it, it's going to be winter again.
Stop it.
I know, but for those of us here, so.
Here in Minnesota.
Yeah, anyway, this episode of Hunt for Wellness brought to you by waterdistillers.com. Great machines providing great water for great wellness. And you can find out more at waterdistillers.com. And we need to get outside. It's too nice out to be in here recording a podcast. So we'll be done with this one, and we'll see you next time on Hunt for Wellness.